Yeah. Young man, always surfing, no waves.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy.
Oh, you made it to Wednesday, middle of the week at the Daily Snack. How are you doing? My name is Jeff. And, you know, we're here today on Wednesday like we normally do, and actually for the last time, to check in with the Winter Extreme X Factor games. We have been talking for weeks and weeks and weeks about keys to living extreme lives for God, and there have been a couple of competitors. Rock Steadfast, who's the multi-time defending champion, along with his new partner, Scooter. They have been competing in the Winter Extreme X Factor games. They haven't done so well. Today is the finals of the competition, so we'll get to check in with them in just a little bit and see, did they win the competition or not? You know, a lot of times when we follow along with stories, the main character, you know, wins the day. They've slayed the dragon, they win the medal, whatever it is, solve the mystery. So today we'll see what happens to Rock and Scooter. Now, we've been talking about a final key to living extreme lives for God this week, and it is that disciples of Jesus trust that God has our best in mind. We've talked about how that is difficult. That might be the most extreme of all of our extreme keys because, you know, there's lots of circumstances in life where it's really hard to feel like God has our best in mind. We only see things through our own point of view. COVID, Zoom school, all kinds of stuff. It's hard to feel like God has our best in mind. It's also hard to feel like God has our best in mind when God is asking us to do difficult things too, like forgive people that hurt your feelings, love people who are really kind of mean. All those kind of things in the Bible that God tells us to do, they're really hard. It doesn't always feel like He's got our best in mind. It feels like He's trying to make us do hard, difficult, almost impossible things. So we need to talk a little more about that today, this week, and figure out what does this key to extreme living look like and how is it even possible that the God of the entire universe has our best in mind. But before we dig into any of that, we need to go and check out the finals of the Winter Extreme X Factor games. The final event is Synchronized Snowboarding, an event I don't think I've ever seen anybody do ever, but Rock and Scooter are in it, so let's check them out.
Kudos here, and yes, we're almost at the end of the Winter Extreme X Factor games for this year. But we still have one more event to go, Synchronized Snowboarding. Snowplow, tell us what's happening.
I'll tell you what's happening, Bob. The fans here are ready for some synchronized snowboarding. Up first is Team Oldenburg. It looks like they're both ready. And they're both into the half pipe, crisscrossing and building momentum for their first trick. They both seamlessly execute a goofy goober, followed by the blender twist. Oh my goodness, that was the side saddle dippity-doo. And they end their routine with the classic salt and pepper popper. That was truly an amazing run by our current first place team, Team Oldenburg. And the final score is in from the judges. 145 points! That is an astounding score, just short of a perfect 150.
Yes, this all but assures victory for Team Oldenburg. We'll have more synchronized snowboarding action right after this. I'm Bob Kudos.
Wow! That was an amazing run. And because of that, I think it'll be nearly impossible.
There's no way we're gonna be able to beat them. They're so good.
I know. Whoa. We're both nervous. We're both nervous. They put the pressure on us. They're so good. You know, we should just pray. We should pray? Yeah. Okay, I think that's a good idea. Lord, thank you so much for this competition. Help us do our very best. Please watch out over us. In your name, Amen. Come on. Amen. Oh, yeah. You know what? Running is so extreme, and I feel so much better. I'm glad. But wait, I need to tell you something. You need to tell me something. Listen. Okay, listen. No matter what happens. No matter what. It's been an honor and a privilege to be your teammate. Really? Yeah. That's the nicest compliment anyone's ever told me, Rock. That's so cool. You're the best. Here's what we're going to do. What are we doing? We're going to rock and synchronize snowboarding. Let's go to the competition.
Kudos, and we're back. Up next is the current second-place competitors, Team Steadfast. What can you tell us, Snowplow?
Bob, this team has been through many ups and downs throughout the games this year. In a matter of weeks, they've gone from hopeless underdogs to a force to be reckoned with. These two are definitely a crowd favorite. It looks like they are ready to begin their routine. Now remember, competitors in the synchronized snowboarding event have to be perfect mirror images of each other throughout their entire routine. And Rock and Scooter don't waste any time getting into their routine. My goodness, they are perfectly synchronized. It is like I'm seeing double. There's a beautiful Itchy Gorilla move pulled off just before they enter into it. I don't believe it. The stampeding prairie dog maneuver. Oh my goodness, the shredded nacho cheese move. And they landed perfectly in sync. The crowd is going nuts. They have to beat 145 points to get the gold medal and get back into first place for the overall competition. And it looks like the judges have the final score. 150 points. I don't believe it. They did it, Bob. It is hard to describe how crazy the crowd has gotten.
Wow! That was an impressive display by Team Steadfast, which has earned them the title of champion. Way to go, Rock and Scooter. Yes, the competition has been truly extreme this year. And I, Bob Kudos, have been proud to guide you through it. We'll be back with coverage of the closing ceremonies right after this. I'm Bob Kudos.
We did it! We won! We won! I've been waiting all competition to do the woohoo extreme victory dance. Here we go! Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh yeah! Extreme! Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh yeah! Extreme! Come on, Rock! You know the dance moves! Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh yeah! Extreme! Hey, Rock! Did you hear the announcer? Rock! Did you hear the announcer? We won! We won the X Factor games! But, I mean, if I'm gonna be... Look, hold on. Something went totally whacked out at the end of that run. What do you mean? What do you mean? Look, come on. We weren't synchronized at the end. You're not making any sense, Rock. All right, look, listen. The way we practiced it, we're supposed to be mirror images of each other. We messed up at the end. I spun the wrong way, which means we weren't synchronized. But look. We got the perfect score, remember, and we won. Yeah, I know, but the judges just didn't see it. That's all that happened. Well, it sounds to me that we just got extremely lucky. Oh, yeah. That's not fair. That's not fair the way we won. We need to go now tell the judges the truth about what happened. Are you crazy? We finally won the competition. We won the games. No. I'm not crazy, and it's not fair to the other teams to claim the victory like that. You know what? God always wants us to be honest, and we need to go tell the judges and do the right thing. Well, I really don't like the sound of us not winning the competition. But I do trust that God has his best in mind for us, and... You know, he does. Well, okay, Rock. Okay, we'll do what you say. We'll go talk to the judges. Go talk to them. And I just hope everything works out okay.
Yes, the competition this year has been fierce, fun, and as always, extreme. Hi, I'm Bob Kudos. Team Steadfast will take home the X Factor trophy this year, and they've certainly earned it. Snowplow is on the scene to walk us through the award ceremony. Snowplow?
Yes, Bob, Team Steadfast will take the trophy and... Wait a minute. I've just received word that some new information has come to light concerning Team Steadfast's recent synchronized snowboarding routine. Rock and Scooter have admitted to the judges that they had an infraction towards the end of their routine. It looks like the judges have talked it over and they've deducted 10 points from their score. That means that Team Steadfast is no longer the winner of the X Factor trophy. The new winner is Team Oldenburg. I am sure that Team Oldenburg appreciates Team Steadfast's honesty. Team Steadfast will go home with the silver medal.
an unexpected turn of events here late in the games. Well, better luck next time, Team Steadfast. And kudos to Team Oldenburg. I'm Bob Kudos, and this has been the Winter Extreme X Factor Games with me, Bob Kudos.
Hello? Oh, Scooter, hello? Hold on 1 second. Hello? Uh-huh. It's the commissioner, the head of the X Factor Games. Really? Rock. It's the head of the Snow Extreme Sportswear Company. Sir, thank you so much. It would be an honor. Yeah, we totally had to be honest because that's what God would want us to do. Really? No way. We would love to! Oh, this is so extreme! Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to yell. All right, bye, take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Rock, you're not gonna believe it. The people from the Snow Extreme Company, they want us to be in their new commercial! Yeah! Extreme! You're not even gonna believe this. What? I just talked to the commissioner. You did? He wants both of us to be back here next year. Next year? And we don't have to go through all these qualifying rounds. That's so awesome! I'm so glad we did what God wanted us to do. Because look, we get to be in a commercial and we get to come back next year. Whoa. God always wants us to trust him. You know what? It worked out, didn't it? Yeah, you're right. It did, man. Rock, I'm getting another call. Hello? Hello? Oh, it's the people from the Extreme Snow Sports Channel. They want us to do an interview. Hello?
Wow, what a finish to the X Factor Games. So that was awesome. And man, talk about a plot twist at the end with Rock and Scooter. It looked like they were going to win, and then they didn't. Now, first of all, before we even dig into that, how difficult was that? I mean, y'all, I'm sure, watch at least a little bit of sports in your lives. You have someone who makes you watch sports if you don't really like it, or you love sports like me and you watch as much as you can get your hands on. How often do you see people do that? How often do people say, like, maybe someone commits a foul in an NBA game? What do they always do? They're always like this. Not me. How often do they just raise their hand, tap the ref on the shoulder, and say, hey, I actually clobbered that guy? Think about football. Pass interference calls. What's the defensive back always do? Oh, not me. I didn't touch him. How weird would it be for the guy to walk up, tap the ref on the shoulder, and say, hey, man, I totally mugged that guy. You should throw the flag at me. That never, ever, ever happens. That had to have been so difficult for Rock and Scooter to do. Now, they knew that God wanted them to be honest, which is going to be hard because they're going to have to give up something they wanted, like winning. But they trusted that if God wanted them to do it, that everything would work out for the best. And as you could tell at the end of that, it did. They didn't win the competition, but it did work out for the best. And you know what? It's the same in our lives. We may be asked to do something that we don't want to do. We may have to go through a situation that we don't want to be in. But if we know it's the right thing, if we know that obeying God is the right thing, if we know that God is in control, then we need to trust that God will work everything out for our good in the end. Now, there's a great verse in the Bible. It's a super famous verse. Even people who maybe don't even know God a whole lot might know this verse right here. It's from a book in the Bible called Proverbs. Let me reveal this verse to you, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. All right, super well-known verse and easy to remember, which is one of the things that I love about it the most. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. This book is in a book in the Old Testament called Proverbs, which is a whole collection of wise sayings. And most of them, we believe, were written by King Solomon, who the Bible describes as someone who was given extra wisdom from God, the wisest man to ever live on the face of the earth. And this was one of his wise sayings. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. This Bible verse helps to understand if we depend on our own understanding and only do the things that we want to do, we don't trust God when he asks us to do something we don't want to do. We don't want to go through difficult circumstances that we don't think are fair. you know what? We'll miss out on some great things that God has for us. We need to trust in God with our whole heart and not our own understanding. I had an activity that I shared with your parents this week, and it involved this piece of paper right here. So you can see I've got just a normal black construction paper, and I've got this little tiny hole that I poked through it with a pencil in the end. And this verse actually reminds me of this activity. You can do this at home. Just grab a dark piece of paper and boop, poke a hole through it. When we look at things through our own understanding, it's like we're looking at life through a little paper like this and just through the hole. You can't see me squinting through the hole on camera, but it's like we're just looking through this little hole. We can only see just a little bit of what we're doing. If we go up to a Where's Waldo thing and we look through the Where's Waldo thing with this, we might only be able to see 2 or 3 of those little people wearing red and white on there. That's what it's like when we go through life on our own understanding. When we go through life trusting that God is in charge, it's like we take this little piece of paper and we take it away, because God does not look through life with a little piece of paper with a little hole in it. God sees it all. God is awesome. He is above everything. He is everywhere all at once. He is all-knowing, and he is all-loving. So we can trust that this God who made the whole universe and who made us can see what we're going through and loves us enough to help us in it. That's really cool. That's why I said that this key to extreme living, that disciples of Jesus trust that God has our best in mind, is the most extreme, but maybe the most important of everything that we've looked at so far. Well, that kind of wraps up our time for today. I hope you join us tomorrow, because tomorrow we've got a whole discussion going on about this same idea that God has our best in mind. If you ever wonder, man, I don't know if God even knows I exist. I don't know if God has my best in mind. I don't know what God's doing. This discussion is for you. We're going to look at some stories from all over the Bible. We're going to talk about them. We've got some special guests to read some of those stories. Actually, one of you out there is going to read one of those stories. So it's going to be awesome. I hope you're back at the Daily Snack tomorrow. As for me, as you can tell, I'm not wearing kind of like normal clothes. I'm getting ready to actually head outside and run. It's going to be warm today, so I'm going to run. But I'll see you back tomorrow on the Daily Snack. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah. Young man, always surfing, no waves. I do it for the kids.
All for the youngest. Young man, always surfing, no waves. I do it for the kids.
They wanna know.
They wanna know
Who I do it for.
who I do it for.
I do it all. I do it all. I do it for the kids.
They wanna know.